Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and another video. Sorry it's been so long, but I've had a fair bit to deal with. But anyway, we're back now and with regular content. But look where we've woken up to. We're in Glencoe, Scotland. I've been here myself probably about 30-40 times in the past, climbing, winter climbing, but what stunning scenery. We made the trip a couple of days ago. We've taken our time, we've taken a slow drive up here, but anyway, enough of that for now. Have a look at this and I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and I've got a few questions to answer, so catch you in a bit, guys. Right guys, that was basically a quick rundown of the journey we took up to Scotland and passing through Glencoe on the A82, and it's an absolute fantastic drive. For those of you that have not done it yet, you van lifers, get up to Scotland. I mean, I've been here countless times. I've said 30 or 40 times in previous videos, possibly more, because I was seriously into my winter climbing. I used to head up to Scotland 2 or 3 times a year when the conditions were right, and always used to come to Glencoe, then shoot over to Aviemore. Between the two, I'd get some good climbing in. But anyway, that was then, this is now, so we're doing it as van lifers now, only we don't live in our van. However, anyway, right, so what I want to do today in this video is ease myself back into getting these videos out there, which I want to aim to get a couple of weeks for you. The midweek question and answer session, because I am getting a lot of questions at the moment, and then at the end of the week sometime I want to get, hello Chewy, I want to get the build videos back up and running, because we've still got a fair bit to do to the van, and but I've not been feeling too well. I've not really been interested in finishing the van. Well, I've been interested in finishing it, but I've been feeling too lethargic, too tired. I have an illness called PNH, paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. Google it. I have mentioned it in a previous video, but this is for, again, for those of you that have maybe not seen any of my videos, this may be the first one. I've been on a trial treatment and it's been going really well, but it's a case of messing about with doses and all the rest of it, and we've nailed it now. Everything's pretty good. So the first thing we wanted to do is just get in the van, and we've come up to Scotland. We was going to go to Wales, Brecon Beacons, but we decided let's just go to Scotland. Anyway, we've been here now for a little over a week. Mally, here, come girl. Come up, Maddie, come up. Thank you. Yeah, we've been here for a little over a week now, and we've had a few trials. We've found a few teething problems with the van, a few things we want to add, such as shelves and bits and pieces. But the main issue we've got at the moment, which I'm going to cover in a fair bit in another video, probably in the next video, would be our Sterling B2B, or the BB1260 60 amp battery, DC to DC battery charger, as packed up. I managed to get it working, and then the next day, within 5-10 minutes, I could smell it, and it's literally totally burnt out. I'll just give you a quick idea of what's happened to it. Oh, the dogs are all over me, sweetheart. Wondering who I'm talking to. That's what it is. I think the dogs are wondering, who's he talking to? No, stay. So there was a breaker right here. Then this is a 35mm square cable going into the terminal here, and it is, I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but I will be showing it in great detail. I'll stick a photo of it up. But it's completely burnt out. I've sent these images. Come on, up, come on, up, come on. Good girl. I sent the images I took off to Sterling, and to be fair, they responded almost immediately. I sent them early Monday morning, which is today, and they responded within a couple of hours. And it does say on their website, give us 24-48 hours and we'll respond, but they responded straight away. They're talking about resistance and bits and pieces, but I'm going to send the photographs off, because at the end of the day I know there's nothing wrong with my install, but we're going to be heading off home now tomorrow. We're on a campsite at the moment, basically so we could go on electric hookup, and we're going to fully charge the batteries, and tomorrow morning around sort of 11-12 o'clock we're going to set off to go home. We're going to make it halfway, stop overnight, and sort of just take a chilled out drive back home. We're not rushing in this. We don't want to kick the arse out of this thing, so we're just taking our time. It's been funny. I've been driving at like 40-45 miles an hour around all the roads in Scotland, and for those of you that have been here, you'll know what the roads are like, and you can tell who lives here and who don't, because they know, and they're flying at like 50-60 miles an hour. And I'm doing my best. I'm pulling into all the lay-bys to try and let the lines of I'm in no rush. I want to let the traffic go by. I'm in no rush whatsoever. Yeah, anyway, right, back on track. The issue has been dealt with, or it's going to be dealt with when we get home. I've spoken to SBPK Solar. Sorry if I've got that wrong. I spoke to Chris on the phone. He actually gave me a call because Wanderbus Adventures, Rich, he got in touch with him and said, look, this guy's in trouble. He could possibly do with getting you sending him an inverter, a battery charger, blah 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 blah. Anyway, Chris phoned me and I spoke to him in great length on the phone, and by the time it gets here with a delivery, and I faff about fitting it and worry about the cables being in the right places, our holiday will almost be over, or this little travels will almost be over. So I said, I'll tell you what, we're going to head off home now in a couple of days time, and when we're a day from home I'll be contacting Chris, placing the order, and he's going to send me out one of the new Victron Smart battery chargers, and that's what I'm going to go with. I mean, I've got the Victron solar charge controller, so I've got every confidence in the products, and obviously everybody else has, because you just got to look at the Instagram photographs and the YouTube videos. It's just arrays of blue, do you know what I mean? And I like the colour blue, so Victron works for me. But anyway, right, I'm going to answer a few questions that I keep getting asked. I'm looking for my phone, that I keep getting asked regularly. One of the most popular ones, which I've not really been able to answer until now because we've done a proper long journey, is what's the miles per gallon on this vehicle? We're carrying a couple of 100 litres of water, full tank of diesel, plus a spare 20 or 25 litre jerry can of diesel. Everything's full, the LPG tank's full, and I literally filled this thing to the brim, and it's a 90 litre tank, and we done 400 miles, and I knew the light kept turning itself on and off, and I knew I could make it to the next garage, which was about 15 miles away, but my arse started to go like that. So I did stop over, pull over, and I used the jerry can and put the 20 litres into the tank. So, and that was on just over 400 miles, 410 miles it was, before putting in that jerry can. So I know from a full tank of diesel, which is 90 litres, I can get a good 400 miles out of this thing. However, driving around the country lanes, up and down the hills, accelerating, decelerating, that goes down quite drastically. This was surprisingly good on the motorway, like I say, 400 miles plus, but I reckon you could knock that down to maybe about 270 miles on a full tank if you're driving around these sort of roads. I'm surprised at how good this actually has done, and it drives absolutely superb. Right, I've been receiving a fair few emails and personal messages, direct messages through Instagram. It's basically been about, you know, how are you? Bit worried. We have, you know, you've not been live. You're not making videos. You know, is your health okay? Because I did explain it in a previous video. Well, as I said earlier, I'm great. I'm on top of everything now, but I've just felt a little bit too lethargic, a bit too tired, and honestly really couldn't be bothered to sit there editing videos or making videos, and that's why the van's not finished yet. So I've got 2 or 3 videos of finishing this van yet. I need to get cracked on, but before our next journey away, once we get home, everything's going to be done on this van within a couple of weeks, a week to 2 weeks, without a shadow of a doubt. So but I'll read the question out. It was from Brian Walsh. What's happening, mate? Not seeing you on the channel. Hope everything is good for you, and hope to see you back soon. So that's basically where I've been and what I've been up to. So Lee Credland, he asked, why did you remove the old ply floor? I've been asked this by several people who have also now got prison vans, and a couple of them have purchased the prison vans because I've sort of, I'm glad to say, I sort of inspired them to go for a prison van instead of a normal Iveco Daily or Merc-Benz or whatever, you know. So, right, why did I remove the ply floor? There were 6 cells, 6 holding cells in this van, and what they used to do, the prisoners, not all of them, but a fair few of them, to get attention because the guards were ignoring them or whatever, they would just, now I have to use these words because when I come to upload this video, right at the very end, and it's taken hours and hours to upload, YouTube say, not suitable for your advertisers because I've used the word beep beep. Right, so anyway, they urinate and they excrement in the cells. So they jet wash the cells out, the whole van, the whole interior, what we are now in a habitation area, they jet wash it out regularly. And the floor becomes rotten and it stinks. Taking the floor out of this van was a vile, horrible job. I felt sick. It was disgusting. Hopefully for you guys that have purchased these vans, hopefully you don't have to take them out, but me, knowing what the prisoners used to do in these cells, I've removed the floor and I've replaced it with brand spanking new 18mm plywood, and not marine ply, but a very good quality protected board. So yeah, that's why I removed the floor. Right, next question. Boomer Rob, he's asked, do you not get grief from Plod for parking on the pavement? No, I don't. Basically, where we live, we have no choice but to park on the pavement. If the residents parked on the street, on the road, where we are legally allowed to park, if we parked on the road, we would block it off. It's as simple as that. It's a very, very narrow road, and in fact, just before we moved into the area and getting to know a couple of locals, they were telling me about an issue they had a few years back where they were ordered via letters and tickets apparently that they must not park on the pavements anymore, so they all parked on the roads, and it's a bus route, and it totally caused absolute chaos, blocked the road off, and apparently it was all rescinded, I think is the word, rescinded, and it's just the way it is. We park on the pavements. It's as simple as that. That's just the way it is. But I follow a guy called Black Belt Barrister on YouTube, and he recently covered this topic, and the video was titled "This Will Cause Chaos," and he was talking about the parking on pavements, and that very soon there's a bill going through that a blanket ban across the country is going to be parking on pavements. Now there's going to be people saying, well, you shouldn't park on the pavements, you block this, you block that. I make sure I do not. They're very, very wide the pavements are wider than the road, which is ridiculous. Yeah, no, we don't get no grief from the plod, and that's it. So right, next question. Right, bit of a long one. Richard B. All right, mate, I've literally spent all day watching your videos. I went right down a rabbit hole. Whatever happened with the windows? I'm looking at doing a build on one of these myself. There's currently one on eBay for 15 grand with 11,000 miles. But maybe I'll start small. If you had to guess a cost, what would you say all the equipment you fitted would be? I can tell you now, we have spent, the equipment in this van comes to between 10 and 12,000 pounds, and that's it. We are going to be doing a video on a breakdown on all the costs and what we've spent on the video, materials and products. You know, fortunately, like one of the expensive products, like my awning, I've got a 3.4 or 3.7 meter Fiamma awning, which is going up, but I've had to have these aluminium blocks made because I've had to raise it ever so slightly to clear the to clear something on the roof anyway. So I'll be fitting that very soon. I wish we had it here because it keeps raining on and off, and we're sheltered from the wind here, so it'd be nice to have the awning out, but we ain't got it on, so that's that. But what happened with the windows? Nothing at the moment. The windows are all the original windows still, but we've taken out the inside windows and I've had new ones made, but I've not fitted them yet. And the reason why I had new ones made on the inside is because they were literally scratched to pieces by the prisoners. So how they've had the sharp implements or whatever to gouge out what they've gouged out onto the polycarbonate, that's it, polycarbonate. They're you know, there was some sort of like awful graffiti that I didn't want left on the windows, so that's why I've replaced the inside windows, but I haven't fitted them as of yet. But that's one of the jobs I'm going to do as soon as we return from Scotland. Yeah, as for the one that's on eBay, I'm shocked that the government are selling a prison van that's only done 11,000 miles. From what I've learned, that generally goes against what they do. They wait for a certain amount of miles or a certain age. I just find 11,000 miles, I can't believe they're selling that off. That's, you know, if it is a prison van, I can't believe they're selling that off. I need to correct the name of the company I mentioned earlier on, the solar company. It was BSPK Solar. BSPK Solar. It's Chris who I spoke to. Google them, you'll find their website. The guy is so helpful that they're going to be my first port of call for all this sort of electronics as and when I need to replace anything that I need to replace. But yeah, he was so helpful, and he wanted to get one out literally posted this morning, so I'd have it next day, and I was going to go and stay on a campsite which would accept the delivery. But then there was an issue because of where we were, you know, the delivery, blah blah blah, and it was going to take a little bit longer, and we thought, sod it, just in case something goes wrong, we'll be waiting around on a campsite, which we don't really want to do. We want it to be wild camping, and without the means to charge up our batteries whilst driving, it's just going to be uncomfortable. And the cloud cover is so thick, super thick, you just can't see. There's a sun out there somewhere, but you can't see it. It's just very thick cloud, low cloud. You can feel the damp and moisture in the air, and we're getting close to zero solar. Certainly a lot less solar than we're using. We've got our fridge on very low, but then the heater is just sort of running, got the door open. We have the heater just running low, and and yes, it's not exactly efficient, but it's what we want. We want to be comfortable, so that's why we've chosen to go home. But yeah, deal with BSPK Solar. Chris, he's so helpful. And it was Wanderbus Adventures. Search for them on Google and YouTube. Search for them on YouTube and Instagram. Give them a like and a follow. It's Kelly and Rich, very, very helpful people as well. I sent him a question first of all because I knew his whole system is quite an impressive, very impressive Victron setup. So I sent him a message and he responded as soon as possible, and he got Chris to give me a call. And you know, it's just wonderful when you've got a little community like that are very helpful. But yeah, so right, that's it. It's just a quick one today, guys, just so I can get myself into making the videos again. I've got a lot of footage. Unfortunately, our trip has been cut short, very, very short, drastically short, by about 10 days to 2 weeks at least. We'll get home and I'll get all the editing done for what little footage we've got for Scotland, and then after that it'll be back to getting this van finished, showing the final build videos, and then really we've never actually done a proper van tour. So we're going to be ready to do a good van tour very soon, and then follow us on the rest of our travel. So with that, guys, take care, and I will catch up with you in the next video. Cheers, bye for now.